Hello everybody, how are you guys doing today? Hopefully you guys are doing okay. Before I get into the video, I'd like to shout out to Joker Gaming TV. He was in the video, and yeah, that's it. Basically, I would like to talk today about the hard mode drops on the raid. How often you're gonna get good things, how often the 320s drop. Obviously you're trying to get the best damage and or armor. You're just trying to get the best stuff you can get out of the hard mode drop, and this is what I'm telling you to expect, basically, if you haven't done it yet. And my thoughts on why and how often things should drop. Basically, first off, I'm going to be talking about how often 320s drop. Obviously, everybody wants to get the highest light, which is 320 at this point. So everybody's just thinking, oh, I want my 320 weapon, oh, I want my 320 ghost, I want my 320 hood and everything. But I'm here to kind of disappoint you. I've only seen one person with the 320 ghost, and it's only one person. That's really not as much as it should be. I've only seen one person with a 320 ghost. I haven't seen anyone else with a 320 other than one rocket launcher, and he infused it. Basically, I just want to talk about how often they drop, which is obviously not very often. It's a little less often than it should be, I feel like. I feel like it should be dropping a little more for how much work you actually put into the raid, and that's also what I'm going to be talking about today, just in general, the raid. So yeah, I've only seen 2 people with 320 drops, I guess, at this point, with the rocket launcher being 320. I personally have never gotten a 320. I've seen someone with a 319 ghost, and that's as close as I saw to a 320 other than those 2 people. So basically, don't get your hopes up for a 320 drop, you know. Expect a 316 or a 313 or something in the lines of past 310, because it's very unlikely that you'll get a 310 drop, but it's very likely that you'll get something close to 310, like a 313 or a 314, or, you know, in that area. It probably goes from like 313 to 316 is probably the most common amount of drops that I've seen personally. But yeah, basically, I just feel like if you're trying to get 320 drops, this is probably not the best thing to do. I mean, if you're trying to get just your light bumped up to when, you know, just so you can have your light bumped up for future activities, you know, for the next DLC or whatever, you're obviously going to have the, you know, max light and max level. But basically, yeah, so don't expect 320 drops often at all. Expect them to be very rare, and just think of it as like an exotic. Just think about, it probably drops just a little less, like on a Nightfall, you know, like a Nightfall exotic. It's probably toned down about 10 times. That's how much that it's really uncommon. And throughout, you know, if you go through, like one time I went through 3 fire teams in one day, just because people start quitting, and you get new people, and you start to see more people with better drops, but none of them, other than that select 2 people, I haven't seen any of the other ones with 320 drops. So that should pretty much answer that question for you. Most of you are also wondering probably if the hard mode is actually that much harder. It definitely isn't as hard as you would think it is. It's definitely not much harder. A couple mechanics have changed, but it really hasn't changed as a whole. The only real mechanic that has changed is with Golgoroth, you get this thing called, I think something light, I don't remember, it's like blighted light or something like that, and you basically just have to get out of the bubble early and no one can be around you, and that's pretty much all that is. If you're wondering, the other one was Oryx. Oryx, it's not a mechanic. Basically what happens is, there's just extra night, like when you kill your ogre, on the other side there will be a knight that spawns, you have to kill that, and a lot of people have trouble with that, and if you are having trouble with that, I do suggest, if you're really having that much trouble, there is a strat up right now where there's no knights and you keep all the ogres alive for a select amount of time. I've never done it personally. I haven't even beat Oryx yet, and that's going to go into another conversation, but for today we're just going to keep on drops and such. But yeah, so mechanics, that's pretty much it. Here are my personal gripes and what I think that Bungie should do. These are my suggestions. If you guys think that they are right, go ahead and leave a like in the, under the video, and comment if you feel like you have the same views on the drop system. Basically, I feel like if you've already gotten a drop, let's say you've gotten a 313 drop, you shouldn't be able to get something under. Sure, you could get something the same for a select amount of times, like, maybe you get one time, you get the same, light ghost. But I think you should get something different every time. It kind of takes the excitement out of playing the raid, and I think people are going to get away from the point of, like, oh, I'm just going to get the same shit, like, what's the point of me doing this? I think it's more of a, you need to have better rewards so people want to play more, because if you keep doing rewards like this where you could get a 310, piece of crap ghost, even though you have a 320 ghost, so what's the point of you even doing the raid at that point? So I do think that if you've gotten something, obviously if it's not 320, if you have full 320 gear, then I don't know what you're doing, playing that raid even anymore. But I feel like if you've gotten a 316 ghost, or a 313 ghost, or whatever the hell kind of, defense it has on it, or anything, even weapons, I feel like it should be, a thing where it doesn't drop anything under. I think the same, if it drops the same, should be pretty slight chance, just because you can't have everyone think it guaranteed like it's going to be better. But I do think at least one or two more defense or attack would be, would be a little more rewarding from, like, spending hours doing the raid. It definitely kind of makes you feel like crap when you're playing the raid for so long, and then it just fucking, it's just not worth it. That's pretty much my personal gripes. I'm going to show some of the weapons and the pictures of the raid weapons on screen here soon. But basically, yeah, here are my, like, what I think they should do also. I think they should make, the Oryx Knights, the Knights that spawn. I think they should give you a certain amount of time to kill them. And it should be on the bottom of your screen, like, Knight left, or Knights, it should give you almost like a counter and a timer. Because people really forget about the Knights. People don't think about it, and if they're so used to just killing the ogres and going into the bubble to shoot Oryx that they forget about the Knights, and that's one of the main problems I've had so far, is people just forget about the Knights. They don't know that they're there, or they thought they killed it and it's not there. Or you really need, I feel like they need to put more counters, like ogre counters, or, Knight counters, or something like that, just because it really would have come in handy if you could see how many Knights you had left and how much, time you had left to kill them. I feel like that would just be very nice for us to do, basically. Would be nice for them to kind of like patch that and fix that. Another thing that I want them to do is be able to drop the Touch of Malice at 320. I feel like if you're doing that whole quest and you haven't got it yet, it should drop at the highest light, or sorry, attack. And yeah, that's just my personal opinion on that. I think exotics should have a 320 defense cap, and I think everything else, this is just my opinion again, I feel like they should have done a situation where they had everything else could be 915, or sorry, 915, god, 315, and then only exotics would drop at 320, so it made it a little more challenging, like, for you to want more exotics, because at this point they only drop at 310, so really the only other thing you need to do is the raid. So I feel like they should make a little more aim at trying to get exotics, because let's face it, exotics have good perks, but if you're not getting a higher light, then you don't want to do it, So that's just my personal opinion. Thank you guys for watching. I wasn't gonna show I was gonna show the weapons and the armor on screen, but I don't know if you guys want to see that. You guys can look it up yourself. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Again, shout out to Joker Gaming TV. I messed up on that again. For helping me with this video, and hopefully you guys have enjoyed. Leave a like and a comment below if you agree, or comment if you disagree, and just talk to me about it, Alright, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.